Happy Monday, third grade. Today we are in our new science. We're on lesson 4. So on lesson 4, we are in How Do New Plants Grow? Today we're going to take page 18 and 19. So make sure you've got your notes out. Page 18 and 19 in your book. And then lesson 4 for your notes starts on page 6. All right, let's get going. All right, let's get after our notes. Like I said, we're in lesson 4. You're on page 18 at the bottom. Today we're looking at how new plants grow. You should be caught up in your notes here. So lesson 4, how do new plants grow? The first thing we're looking for is why do seeds need to scatter? All right. Lesson 4. Most plants make seeds that grow into new plants. Sometimes a stem or root grows a new plant. Scattering seeds. When seeds are scattered, they are moved away from the plant. Then they have more room to grow. We just got it. Why do they need to scatter? To have more room to grow. If they didn't scatter, they'd all be choked out by not having enough space, right? We said every living thing needs space. Plants are no different. So the seeds need to scatter so that they can have a place to drop their roots and grow. Next, let's look for some ways that seeds are scattered. Seeds are scattered in many ways. Some seeds are spread from one place to another by wind or water. Wind. Water. Other seeds are carried to new places by animals that eat fruit with seeds. The seeds pass through the animal's body. Then they are dropped to the ground far from the plant. Get it? When the animal goes to the bathroom. They drop that seed and then the seed can grow there. Some seeds are carried along when they stick to an animal's fur. So, carried by animals. I'll get you closer. That's a C. Then eaten by animals. And then sometimes, we're going to see in a little bit, they're also scattered by cones. All right, so that's on page 6 of your notes. See at the bottom it says page 6. All right. Go ahead, pause the video if you're not done with this for lesson 4 yet. I'm on lesson number 3. At the bottom of our page, they give us the chart that shows us different ways that those all scatter. So wind scatters seeds that have parachutes or wings. So maybe you've seen one like this. When I was little, we used to always throw it up in the ground. We'd call them airplanes, and they'd throw and they'd spin around. Sorry, helicopters. And they'd spin around like this until they found where they were going to land. Water also. So coconuts. If you think about, you've ever seen a movie that has coconuts that are floating. This is one way that those seeds are scattered. Sticking to animals' fur. If you look really closely, there's some burrs that are stuck to his fur right there. And then that animal eating fruit is going to scatter that seed as well. You've probably seen seeds drifting through the air. Wind scatters seeds that are very light. Many of these seeds have special parts that act like tiny wings or parachutes. The seeds can drift for long distances if the wind is strong. Some types of pine cones need to be heated in a forest fire to release their seeds. The fire also removes other plants around the trees and clears space for those seeds to grow. All right, so we got multiple different ways that these seeds scatter so that they can be spread to make new plants. Here's an example of those parachute-looking seeds. So maybe you've seen this in like a dandelion or something when it gets all white along the edges and you blow it, and it's got all those things that look like parachutes where they go and spread out and then drop to the ground where they're going to create new plants. All right, that is where we were going to start, or where we're going to stop for today as far as our notes going. Keep watching. I've got a video that shows you some different ways that those seeds are scattered.
STEM Bite. For this STEM Bite, I like to spend a little time thinking about seeds. In particular, I like to think about how seeds get everywhere. I mean, just look at this mess of seeds. Of course, getting seeds everywhere is exactly what trees are trying to do. I mean, imagine if the tree just dropped a couple seeds straight down every year. I mean, the new tree wouldn't have any chance of survival. Instead, plants develop these sophisticated ways of distributing their seeds over great distances. I want to show you just a couple of my favorite methods for seed dispersal. So you can see the little brown dots on the end here are the seeds, and each one's attached to like this little parachute. When the wind blows or the lawnmower goes by or a little kid picks us up and blows on it, the seeds fly through the air and land on the grass, and a new dandelion can grow. It's so awesome. Another one of my favorite methods for seed dispersal are these awesome helicopter seeds that come out of my maple trees. We call them helicopter seeds because when they fall through the air, they twirl like a helicopter blade. Here, check it out. That is awesome. Even real helicopter blades don't spin like that while they're falling. Whoa! I think this is an outdoor toy. Oh, down, down, down. Oh dear. People have been designing and refining helicopter blades for a few decades. But trees have been refining the design of their seed helicopter blades for thousands and thousands, millions of years. That's like the magic of natural selection, right? It reinforces new designs that are particularly effective. So riding on the air might get you 10, 15, maybe 25 feet away from the tree. But if you really want your seed to go far, you want to go for a real ride. All the fruit we eat has seeds inside of it. If you wanted your seeds to go far, why not surround it with yummy deliciousness? That way, if an animal eats the yummy stuff, they might also swallow one of these seeds. Who knows how far the animal might travel? If it's a bird, they might travel several miles. If it's a baby, they might not travel quite so far. But the point is that the seed will eventually get deposited. And when it does, there's no telling where it might end up. It's hard to imagine, but in some ways, trees are using us. I mean, not only in fruit, but think about corn or beautiful flowers. Humans are taking those seeds and bringing them all over the world. Those plants are thriving because they've somehow convinced us to disperse the seeds for them. Those plants know what they're doing. STEM Bite.